Is there anything I can do to help? Well, thanks. That's nice of you. My husband looks relieved to see me in a good mood. Help me with this. With what? I've been so busy managing the company that I haven't had time to handle personal things. I'm glad you came to me. Thank you. I handed him the divorce papers. I had already signed them. Wait, what? You never mentioned this before. Right, I'm telling you now. Why? Think long and hard about that, you hypocrite. My name is Lily, my husband Mark, and I have been married for 18 years. We have a 16-year-old son and a 14-year-old daughter. After finishing college, I joined Mark's grandfather's company, where I still work. Mark's father, Richard, and Mark were expected to take over the business one day. I always thought we had a good marriage. Our kids are kind, and we live with Mark's family. Everything seemed fine until things changed. One day, Mark's grandfather, Henry, fell and broke his leg. He was over 90 years old but still running the company. After his accident, the family's true colors started to show. Henry was a strict man. When I first joined the family, he often corrected me. Don't put your elbows on the table while eating. Finish chewing before you take a sip of your drink. Turn off your phone. No unnecessary noise at the table. Whenever we ate out, he had even more rules. Take your coat off when you enter a restaurant. Hand it to the hostess. Never bring it to the table. At first, I thought he was just being overly picky, but over time, I realized he was teaching me good manners. He never explained why. He just stated things plainly. But I saw the value in what he said. And he wasn't just strict with me. He also taught my kids proper etiquette, though he was always gentle with them. Even when they forgot the rules, he never yelled. He just kept guiding them. But after he broke his leg, everything changed. The whole family had to take turns caring for him. That's when my in-laws, Mark's brother, and even Mark himself started complaining. This isn't how things were supposed to be. My mother-in-law, Susan, grumbled after checking on Henry. What's wrong? I asked. Everything, she snapped. Why do I have to deal with this? It's exhausting. I wish he would just drop dead. I was shocked. Susan had always seemed cheerful. I couldn't believe she would say something like that. Have you heard about that fortune teller in town? She continued. Yeah. Maybe I should go see her and ask for a little help. She laughed. Oh, I'm just joking, but seriously, looking after him is such a waste of my time. It was a horrible joke, but what stunned me even more was Mark laughing along with her. He didn't even try to stop her. That night, when we were alone, I confronted him. Don't say things like that. Huh? What are you talking about? About Henry. Did I say something wrong? You laughed when your mom joked about him dying. Of that, it was just a joke. Relax. It's not funny, it's awful. If it helps my mom blow off steam, what's the harm? No matter what I said, he didn't care. Fine. At least don't joke about it in front of the kids. It's not that serious. It is to me. He's your grandfather. He's done so much for you, and you treat him like this. He's just an old man. He's practically gone already. That wasn't true. Henry had done so much for this family, and they were ready to throw him away. There was no point in arguing with Mark anymore. Just don't say things like that in front of the kids. Fine, you're starting to sound just like him now. Thankfully, Susan and Richard didn't complain about Henry when the kids were around. But a few days later, believe it or not, Susan took Mark and his brother to see the so-called voodoo lady. When they got home, they looked thrilled. I feel so much better. I wasn't sure at first, but asking for help was the right call. Same here. Wouldn't it be hilarious if he actually dropped dead? Did you guys notice all those creepy decorations in her place? They were laughing and acting like they had just done something amazing, completely unaware of how ridiculous they sounded. In reality, the voodoo lady wasn't even Jamaican. Her grandparents were from Fiji, and she was a third-generation American. Plus, she didn't even practice black magic. She focused on spiritual healing instead. I had no idea how they convinced themselves she was some kind of mystical figure. But honestly, I just hoped she had sent some healing energy toward Henry. Meanwhile, the three idiots in front of me were too clueless to realize any of this. After about a month of taking care of Henry, Susan started saying strange things. Listen, guys, Henry's losing it. He just ate dinner, and now he's asking for food again. He keeps saying, "Where's my dinner?" over and over. I didn't believe her. He seemed completely normal whenever I was with him, but Richard and the other men in the family jumped in. Actually, I don't think he even knows who I am. The other day, he asked me who I was. Mark and his brother joined in. Really? You two? Yeah, he acts the same way with me. Maybe he's losing his mind. No way. That doesn't sound right. I told you, when old people get injured, they decline fast. We need a family meeting about this. 2 weeks later, Richard gathered everyone, except Henry, into the living room for an announcement. I'm here to tell you all what we decided in the family meeting. His words hit me hard. I wasn't included in the meeting. That meant they didn't see me as family. I glanced at Mark. He looked completely unbothered. So he didn't think of me as family either. Richard, not caring how I felt, continued. My father isn't well. He's losing his mind. It's dementia. So we decided to move out. Yeah, we don't really have a choice. I was completely shocked. What were they even talking about? So Lily, we're leaving Henry in your care. What do you mean? We need to focus on protecting the company. Don't you get it? It felt like a punch to the gut. I had believed my marriage was strong, that Mark and I had built something meaningful over the years. But it turns out I was wrong. Now it made sense why I wasn't invited to their so-called family meeting. Even after all these years, they never truly saw me as family. What are you saying? Mom works just like you do. And what do you mean you're leaving? Yeah, I don't get it either. Why wasn't Mom included in this meeting? My kids were upset and their voices grew louder. Mark looked uncomfortable. Listen, your mother married into this family. That means she's not a real family member. I couldn't believe my ears. What are you saying to our kids? Please don't say things that will hurt them. I'm just telling the truth. I took a deep breath. I understand. That's enough. Just leave. I'll take care of Henry myself. If that's what you wanted, you should have just agreed from the start. Henry had always been strict, but he had done so much for me. I respected him deeply, no matter how tough he was. He had sacrificed a lot for his family, probably more than he ever did for me. Yet when he needed them the most, they abandoned him without hesitation. I wouldn't let such selfish people take care of him. I knew he would need more than just basic help. He'd need real nursing care in the future. And there was no way I could trust these heartless people to do that. Who knew what they'd do to him? All right, we'll move to the other house. You stay here and take care of Henry. The next day, movers arrived and they packed up their things. They left without hesitation. The only ones who stayed with me were my kids. We'll help too, Mom, my daughter said. Thank you. It's going to be tough from now on. Don't worry, I love my great-grandpa. Yeah, me too, my son added. I smiled at them. Me too. I love him too. Let's all do our best together. Though he can be a little scary sometimes, my son mumbled. What do you mean? Before we could say more, we suddenly heard Henry's voice. Henry, how's your leg? It's fine now, fully healed. 3 months later, Henry and I went to visit the family that had abandoned him. When Susan opened the door, she looked like she had seen a ghost. Is Mark here? Henry asked. Oh, yes. Good. I'd like to speak with him. Henry walked confidently into the living room. Oh my God, you can walk, Mark shouted. What nonsense are you talking about? Dad, do you even know who I am? Richard asked nervously. Henry smirked. Of course, you're the so-called chief sales officer who can't get anything done. Richard turned red. What the hell? And you too, Henry turned to Mark and his brother. You're my foolish grandsons, and you, he pointed at Susan, are my greedy, gold-digging daughter-in-law. Dad, you all abandoned me with Lily, saying I had dementia. That's ridiculous. I know exactly who you people are now. The truth was, Henry had always been sharp. While he did need help after his injury, his mind was just as strong as ever. But once he saw how his family treated him, he decided to put on an act to see their true colors. And they had failed the test. Do you know why I never handed the company over to you guys? He asked. Because you're not capable. If I left it to you, it would collapse in no time. But Mark, Henry added, I do have to thank you. You brought someone into the family who actually deserves to lead. Lily is smart, efficient, and most importantly, has a good heart. That's why I've decided she will be the next CEO. Dad, Wait a second. I was supposed to take over. Mark protested. Henry shook his head. I don't remember ever saying that. You don't understand anything. Why do you think I never retired and gave the company to you or your brother? It's because neither of you has the ability to run it. But Henry, Richard tried to speak. Enough. Don't even try to defend yourselves. You abandoned me, claiming you were protecting the company. But in reality, you just wanted to take the money and live an easy life. You never actually worked to keep the business running. While Henry was gone, Mark, Richard, and his brother had dumped all their responsibilities on the employees, doing nothing but collecting their salaries. Of course, the employees have reported everything to Henry. Don't worry, Henry said. I'm not going to fire you, but Lily will be running the company now. You three will step down from your positions and start over from the bottom. His family protested, but Henry wasn't going to change his mind. 3 days later, I officially became the new CEO. Every employee, except for my in-laws, welcomed the decision and was motivated to work harder. Mark, who had been stripped of his position, came to beg for my attention. He showed up at the house with a large suitcase. But when I arrived, he was standing outside. Hey, what are you doing here? I asked. Thank God, I couldn't get in, he replied, looking uncomfortable. Of course not. I changed the locks. Why? Well, for security reasons. Anyway, are you going on a trip or something? No, I thought you'd be busy, so I came back. I see. Well, I'm super busy. It's rewarding, though. Let me know if I can do anything to help. Thanks, that's nice of you. He seemed relieved I was in a good mood. I unlocked the front door and went inside, but he tried to follow me. I quickly shut the door in his face. Watch it, I warned, stepping outside again. He looked at me with wide eyes. You can help me with this. What's this? I asked, puzzled. I've been too busy as CEO to take care of my things. I'm glad you're here. Thank you. I handed him the divorce papers I had already signed. Wait a minute. You never mentioned divorce before, he said, visibly shaking as he held the papers. Well, I just did. Why? Think long and hard about it, you hypocrite. You left me to care for Henry while you ran away. Do you really think I want to spend my life with someone like you? Are you out of your mind? His hands shook as he stared at the papers. I continued, the moment you left, I knew I wanted a divorce. And the kids agree. They even said it's good riddance. This is the final decision of the family meeting. Family meeting? I'm family too. What's this all about? You can't do this. I wasn't invited to the family meeting, but I'm still family, he stammered. That's what my mom says, so it's decided, I replied coldly. The kids, Henry, and I are unanimous on this. You're not part of our family. Majority rules, I added. Mark tried to argue, but I wasn't listening. Well, send me the divorce papers when you're done. From now on, I'm the CEO, and you're just an employee. Good luck. The divorce took a little over a year, but eventually, Mark and my ex-in-laws resigned from the company. I'm sure their pride was shattered. How did they endure for that long? The environment at the company is so much healthier now, and I quickly realized that they really hadn't been doing their jobs. Nothing has changed except for the improved work atmosphere, which is why I can understand why Henry hadn't retired sooner. A year has passed, and now I live with my kids and Henry. He's as energetic as ever and takes care of himself. Whenever I'm stuck at work, he's always there to help me out. As for my ex-family-in-law, they opened a deli together but failed miserably. I haven't heard from them since, and they're no longer seen in town. I guess things don't work out for people who don't think things through. Meanwhile, I continue to run the company I inherited from Henry, and my life is brighter than ever.